Okay, we're going to go live here. So I'm going to talk about all kinds of things that are happening in multiple different realities, multiple different perspectives, multiple different states of awareness, and bringing it all together on a silver platter in my lens. So tune in, watch the replay, share this replay with others. Thank you guys for jumping on. Thanks for following with me in my journey. The things that I share is not just for me, it's for you. It's for everybody, it's for the collective. And the dots that I've connected, the experiences, all the things I've learned in the last couple of years during my awakening is to put it together and give it back to you. So before I dive in, one thing you want to make sure that you look at and embody is use discernment. Discernment in a way where don't take everything that I say to be 100% truth. Don't take everything that I say to be 100% accurate. I'm not the guru. I'm not the way shower. I'm not the expert. I'm just a guy that connects some dots, that has the ability and the drive to zoom out, see things in a bigger perspective, come back into the present moment, and share that with the world. And it's been a blessing to be able to do this through social media. So we're going to look at certain situations that have happened in the past, things that we might be looking at going into the future, and then bringing it back to the present moment. That's that zoom out, zoom in dance. So your zoom out lens, for example, is kind of seeing all the wormholes, seeing all the different rabbit holes, seeing all the different, whatever terms you want to call it. Zooming in is what can you control? Right? What are those things that you can take every single day, implement in your life, embody certain ways, take care of yourself, be a light for others, shine light on darkness, and hold that frequency, so to speak, as we usher in this now year, this now earth. Right? There's nothing new about the now. It's been here always, and we're returning back to that 0 point origin. So let's dive in a little bit. And first, let's take a trip down memory lane. So here we are. January 2021. We've come a long ways in 2020. It seemed like 2020 was a flash. It seemed like 2020 was the longest year on record. It seemed like 2020 was the most challenging. It seems like 2021 is the most enlightening. Whatever it was, zoom out. We just got a firsthand glimpse on the systems, the structure, society, programs, expectations, media, psychology, spirituality, health and wellness, politics, corruption, contracts, laws, banking, the economy. It all fell down, but it was a system designed that way. And I say that over and over because these systems weren't just broken. They were meant to break you and me. They're meant to break people, everyday people, whether you live in the United States, whether you live in Canada, Mexico, all over the world. I always say that the world is watching us, and I mean us as the U.S., the United States. This quote-unquote election, which if you zoom out farther is in fact a facade, it's a movie, it's a program, it's something that you're watching to keep up and understand what's going on in the world. This zoom out lens of what's happening, the whole world, and not just the world, the whole galaxy is watching. So if you're here now watching this and you're watching this replay, you're at the biggest turning point in probably humanity, in all texts, in all history, whatever terms, because remember, time is linear and man-made. Well, we're here coming back to this present moment. So where did this all really start to take place? Where did this all start to happen? And let's fast forward now to the present, where you have now gone into a place where no one knows who's going to be the next president. No one knows what's going on. No one knows who to believe. No one knows what's happening. Does everyone think they're going crazy? To an extent, that's okay, but like I always talk about, crazy can be a word that is so confusing to many, but empowering to others. So wherever you're at in your journey, pat yourself on the back. That's exactly where you're supposed to be. Everyone has this unique divine timing of awakening to the things that are happening in our world. Where we're going as a collective, you guys, oh my gosh. From things with a financial reset to free energy to patents being released to traveling space. Bringing back power to us, being self-sovereign, expressing our natural gifts, holistic health and wellness, quantum healing, quantum financial systems. We're going to have oceans that are cleansed overnight. We're going to have our rainforest regrown. We're going to have new animal species, new plant species. Why? Well, because the energy coming in and the energy going out is meeting at the 0 point. And where does that energy get harnessed? It gets harnessed in your heart space. It gets harnessed in your heart space. That's why fear, hate, anger, greed, these low vibrational feelings, these emotions, this energy and motion is being stuck in people. It's causing their waters to be sticky. It's causing stagnancy. So when you have new information, such as this is corrupt, there's something going on with child trafficking, oh, the mainstream media is lying to you, your favorite celebrity is not who they are, it's hard to hear that. because there's so much chatter, there's so much programming, there's so much sticky, murky waters. The brain is full of toxicity. The blood is stagnant. There's parasites in the colon. The lymphatic system is clogged. Your inner vessel is your outer world. The stress at the cellular level is the stress you see in everyday life. The negative actions go on that maybe you're seeing could be a reflection of the negativity of the words you're speaking within. So where we're going is beautiful. Where we're coming from, many don't like to look back, and where we are in the now is the best time for that's ever been. So let's backtrack again, looking back, look what's happened in the last month. There's a lot of confusion. You have a lot of information being dropped from many sources, more specifically by a man named Lynn Wood. Now, who the heck is this guy? Probably a lot of us maybe watching this or the replay, you never heard about him. I had no idea who he was. And that's okay, because it allows me to keep learning. Well, Lynn Wood is one of the best, probably if not the top lawyers in the United States, and he works on cases with defamation, which is the smearing of character, like awakening people to certain things. He's been on this whole awakening train longer than most of us have been alive. So he's been sharing drops of bit of intel outside of mainstream media. Why? To get the public ready. Well, what the heck are we getting ready for? Well, if you look at all these things that have stemmed from November 3rd, the election fraud, the confusion, the voter confusion, the switching, the changes in the systems, that was all a show to start getting people ready for the bigger fraud. Because when you go micro, the micro is the election. The micro is the fake election of a fake presidency and a fake Congress and a fake legislature, yada, yada, yada. Well, that fake carries over to banking. It carries over to healthcare. It carries over to the education system. It carries over to international trade or the military-industrial complex. It carries over to all kinds of things, because when one thing is a fraud, well, it makes you start questioning are other things a fraud. And when you start questioning things, you start questioning certain narratives and realizing that narratives that are playing out, whether it's on TV, mainstream media, by certain Twitter handles, ask yourself, does this narrative fit that of love, light, and happiness going forward? Because usually it's not. And usually it's a little really confusing that people are getting their information from different places. So you're seeing information being dropped of all things that have occurred in the past, right? The voter cases, the Supreme Court, how each state is submitting cases and they're getting thrown out. They're never supposed to go through anyways. Why? Because all of our courts, most 99.9%, I don't say all to not universalize, but most are corrupt. Most judges are corrupt. Most legislatures, congressmen, governors, politicians are all corrupt, and they work for the same club. And that club doesn't include me and you. It doesn't include the average person. In fact, they use and they flip that club, and we become the pawns in their chess game. And we become the people that they move around. And that started with our birth certificates. That started when we were little, getting the programming from 1 to 7 years old. They find ways to hijack that subconscious. So everything that you might be taking in right now could be going over your head. It could be very overwhelming and confusing. That's where it's a great, great reminder to just pause for clarity. Simply, a simple thing you can do is tap your chest, take a deep breath, come back to your present moment, zoom back in on your present moment, because that's where the magic always is. That's where you create your reality. Collectively, we're creating this now earth. Now, get me wrong, I'm all for love and light. I'm all for love and light. I'm all for happiness and bright futures and sunshine and rainbows. At the same time, there's a lot of darkness. There's a lot of evil that is pretty much right under the carpet, and we're afraid to lift it up. But as soon as you lift that up, that light that you love so much can shine bright on it, and that evil leaves so fast, and you're seeing it happen today. It's the people that are holding on to this illusion, they're holding on to this program that they've been running on their whole life. It's hard to let go. It's hard to let go of living a life which you believed to be true. It's hard to let go of the fact that you might not look at people such as Oprah the same. It's hard to embrace the fact that you might not look at Tom Hanks the way you've always looked at him, because they were playing an actor. They were being an actor in their own movie. All right? Oprah and Tom Hanks, those are actors. Those aren't people. And they're playing a role which we then believe is psychological warfare. And the psychological warfare is either one, pushing people so far away where they think you're crazy, where they can't even talk to you anymore, where they cut you from their life, where they look at you as some conspiracy theorist, where they don't see the bigger picture in what you're sharing, or two, you're magnetizing others that are awakening. You're attracting other people that are now going, wait a minute, that doesn't add up. wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Because that 1 minute can change your life. That one dot, that one aha moment can bring your soul right back into this vessel that God created within you to ignite yourself and have that awakening within. And every single day, you guys, people are awakening fast. And here's the thing, for those that maybe are awakening now and you're afraid or unsure how to talk, afraid or unsure on how to communicate with people, afraid or unsure to be called crazy or have your family or friends look at you, best thing you can do is to find a community. The best thing you can do is connect now with new people online. The best thing you can do is just asking little questions here and there and planting seeds. You're not going to change your family overnight. Trust me, I tried it. It doesn't work that way. Everyone has waves of divine timing for awakenings, but you can drop seeds. You can plant things in the subconscious. You can ask questions. You can say, hey, I'm just curious. What are your thoughts? Hey, do you mind if I share a perspective? This is this conscious communication that our schooling systems, mainstream media, actors and celebrity, all of these things do not teach us. In fact, we're flipped. We're taught to try to do things. We're taught to hope for things. We're taught to maybe do things instead of declare, choose, and affirm. So where you're at, just know this third party of the collective is coming. In fact, it's here and you're seeing it happen more. You can almost feel it. Maybe right now, your heart is racing by listening to this. Maybe right now, your body is getting the chills because Chris is saying everything I'm thinking. How does he read my mind? We're all the same. We're no different than one another. And as I wake up and as my partner wakes up, my family, your friends, collectively, we start creating this new paradigm. When this new paradigm starts coming together in this torus, more and more energy can arise. Now you're pushing all of the evil up to the surface to be shown. Why? Because evil wants to hide. And it wants to hide not only outside under the covers or in your closet, it wants to hide deep in your subconscious. Those limiting thoughts, those limiting beliefs, that ego, that voice that says you're not good enough, that you're crazy, that don't speak your truth, hold it back, that's getting pushed to the surface and you can't hide anymore. We can't hide anymore, and neither can the truth, right? Neither can the truth. So we've had Christmas time, we've had New Year's Eve, and now in 2 days, we have millions and millions of freedom fighters and truth seekers, whatever term you want to call it, going to DC to then go ahead and make a stand, not for just the president. That's just a character in the ball game. There's people who are awakened just like you and me that are going to take a stand for freedom, that are going to stand for sovereignty, that are going to stand for transparency, that are standing for truth, that have this right and this constitutional law and this constitutional act, not even beyond that, this God-given right to speak up and make a stand. And you're going to see things happen. And I'm not going to be here to tell you what's going to happen, because even I don't know. Why? Because we co-collectively create it. But there's a term that I always like to say, which is future proves past. A lot of the things that are happening today have actually already happened. What do I mean by that? The things you are witnessing today about the election, about the tweeting, about the mainstream media, the censorship, the vaccination, all those different things, those have already happened. The car drove by a long time ago. The wind hit us in 2020. That's why it got in our face. We got rattled. 2021, the dust settles. Question to you is, what are you going to see? And when I say see, it's not what you see with your eyes. It's what you see with your mind. But what happens is the mind is so blocked off from change because of the ego, we don't want to accept this change in reality. So there are millions of people who think actually the very opposite of the things I'm sharing. And there's nothing wrong about it. It's actually perfect because there's always balance in the way God and the universe works. There are tons of people that actually believe that there will be a different result on January 20th, inauguration, so to speak. There's nothing wrong with that. That's perfect because that timeline continues to play out until enough jump onto the main collective timeline of this new exploratory planet Earth that we call home, Mother Earth, so to speak. And so what's happening is those that know this, the good guys, so to speak, they're guiding us through a story. Remember, nobody can come out and tell you these things on mainstream. This won't happen that way. So how do we tell the world? How do we tell the whole world that's watching us? We show them. We show them. And it's not just someone in the President Oval Office showing. It's you. It's me. It's your family. It's your friends. It's your page. It's your channel. It's your bio. It's your link. It's your embodiment. It's your words. It's your energy. You be that light for others, and you show people. And you show people what you discovered and say, hey, you don't have to believe me. Do you mind if I share a perspective? And if they say yes, they're ready. If they say no, move on, continue, send them love and appreciate them nonetheless. Because what's going to happen, you guys, in this month, once this month is over, there will be millions and tons of people in your life that are going to come to you and say, hey, I was wrong. Or, hey, can you shed some light on this? And that's where we're headed. And that's why it's so important to take care of yourself, to do these things, because you know that this truth is going to be coming out. And it's been coming out. I know a lot of people are saying, well, nothing's happening. My question is, where are you looking? What stream are you tapped into? Have you asked your intuition? Have you sat with this? Have you asked yourself these questions? A lot is happening. We're just so addicted to having something big happen. We're so addicted to that now moment, that biofeedback in the moment, that big picture home run, not a single or a bunt or a double. We want grand slams. My friends, grand slams, you're going to be so exhausted from these grand slams that are going to be happening. And that's where you want to anchor in this truth with people. That's where you want to stay in your integrity. It's where you want to be a light for others and not try to convince people to change, but just to let them see them for itself. So you have the things coming out with Linwood, you have the future proofs past, you have all of these things that have been exposed. If you've really been following, keeping up with my stories, I do the best I can to share what I follow. And a great way is just to watch some of my highlights and go down through that whole wormhole yourself. Right? So the psychological warfare that's being played out, you have a whole narrative that mainstream media is sharing. They're sharing a certain way, a certain how, a certain why, this. None of that is actually happening. I know it's hard to even hear that. It's hard to even maybe process that. And there's a whole nother narrative that is being played out with different cue drops and different exposures. I'm not even in the position to say that's all happening because at the end of the day, I'm here in California. I'm not there. So what do? I connect both hemispheres of the brain, the right and the left brain analytical, statistical, fact statistics, left brain calls to action, and then the right brain, the no mind, the bigger picture, the frequency, the feeling of it, and now you start finding that dance within. Right? You start finding that dance within. So here we are. It's now January 4th. In 2 days, you're going to have millions of people going to D.C. to declare truth. Remember, the people of the world demand this truth. The people of the world are speaking loud enough because there's enough that knew. 2020 was an awakening and a breaking for different types of dimensions and realities because each one of us are on our own journeys. There's enough people that have been awakened to the crimes against humanity. There's been enough people that have been awakened to the illusion. There's been enough people that have been awakened to mainstream media and Project Mockingbird. There's enough people that have awakened to the fake economy and the fake hoax, so it's called the banking cartel and the Federal Reserve. There's enough people that have awakened to the fraudulent healthcare system with vaccinations and heavy pharmaceuticals. There is enough people that have awakened to something is just not right. And that's why I say grab your popcorn. Because each one of you, you don't have to march to DC to contribute. You still right where you are. You be safe with your friends and family. You connect your dots. You take care of yourself. And you be that beacon. And you be that light for others. Because I'm telling you, the whole world's about to go inside out. The whole world's about to flip inside out. And you're going to be there to say, hey, it's all good. What questions do you have? Hey, it's all good. Let's talk about it. Hey, it's all good. Let's go connect with this community. It's all good. I'm right there with you. The last thing we want to do is, I told you so, you were wrong, this and that. So this flow kind of really turned into apparently giving you guys some tools to get yourself ready for declass and disclosure, which is really, really exciting because if there's little things you might have missed, there's a lot of extraterrestrial contact. There's a lot of UFOs being identified. It was also in the most recent stimulus bill, I believe, or the latest bill, I forget what it was. 180 days from now, we're going to have more ET disclosure. We're going to have med beds, free energy. We're going to have 8,000 patents. At least half of them are going to be released in the coming years with everything going on. We're so abundant. There are so many systems that are rebirthing from the new quantum financial system. And before we get to that jump, we just got to go to that depth. We gotta just drop down into this darkness that none of us want to be in anymore. No many people have told me 2020, I want this year to end. 2020, worst year of my life. Well, I call it a slingshot because every time you pull back and you let go, you propel forward. And we're about to take a quantum leap. We are taking a quantum leap right now because of the things that are about to get disclosed. So what you can do again is research, learn, use your discernment, connect your dots. Know that everything you've seen is a movie being played out. Know that everything you're watching is a storyline that is being shown and is God working through millions of people that are freedom fighters. This is all biblical. This is all astrological. It was written. It's written in the stars and it's written in your DNA. And you get to live it out and you get to read it and you get to write your own chapter. And you get to be a part of this shift. You get to be a part of the greatest shift in humanity. And again, all those things that I'm sharing, take what you want. Take those breadcrumbs, take those bread drops, connect your dots, see that bigger picture, reflect on the past. It's no longer you, it's just a memory. Be optimistic about the future and then stay in the now. And as you stay in the now, things get more and more clear, and that's what I'm talking about, zooming in. So I hope this video helped. I plan on going live probably every single day going forward, sharing different, more specifics, but I really just felt called to anchor the craziness that has happened since the New Year's, the craziness that has happened since the quote-unquote election, the craziness maybe that has happened just yesterday, depending where you're at in your journey. I can't speak for all of you that are watching this. I can't speak for all of you that are watching this replay. I can speak from myself to you because you are much of a part of me as anything else. And in that gift to you, you can take that and wrap it up and be that gift for others. So I hope this was helpful. Just know that the best is yet to come. You're going to see some things that are pretty wild. I'm not making any claims. I'm not making any guarantees because at the end of the day, I don't even know. And that's the best part because that allows me to learn and know everything. And when you see the stuff that unfolds, drop into your heart, get out of that left brain mental matrix, drop into that right brain and open your mind up, quiet the mind, feel more, think less, embrace more and resist less. And you'd be surprised the magic that unfolds and you realize you are the greatest detective. You are the best researcher out there. You are literally capable of doing so many more things and you might have never realized it until now because your soul is waking up and you're starting to remember exactly who you are and why you're here. All right, guys, have an amazing rest of your night. Stay tuned. Keep a lookout on the stories. Dive into my highlights. Connect some dots. Best is yet to come. We're here for it. And so it is. All right.